I am about to attempt to paint a full seascape with only 3 colours: phthalo green, bright red and titanium white. Let's see what happens. To start off with, I'm using a 1-inch brush and I've just loaded a tiny bit of bright red onto it, and I'm holding it side on and I'm just doing a crisscross motion in the middle of the sky and just working my way outwards. I'm just basically creating a bit of blended paint. I've not used a lot at all, and I'm just basically fanning it out like so, just till I'm happy with the colour. If you'd like to see how I prepared this canvas beforehand, please check out my playlist on my channel entitled Canvas Preparation, and you'll find it in there. Okay, so using the same brush, I've just mixed up the colour of bright red and I've added a tiny little bit of phthalo green to it, and it just creates like an off green greyish colour. I'm just using that and I'm just coming in from the sides and the top, and I'm just doing some like curved motions with the brush, as you can see, just inwards like that. This is just going to create some distant cloud shapes. You can do whatever pattern you like. I'm just going in from the sides and I'm just going to continue doing this until I'm happy with how the sky looks. Once again, you don't want to use a lot of paint for this. You can always add more. You don't want to start with too much paint because it can be hard to take it away. It's much easier just to add paint if you've not got enough on, like so. And just as a reminder guys, every single painting that I do on YouTube is available and for sale. If you're interested in them, just contact me on my email address. You'll find my contact details in the video description, and you'll also find my Etsy details there as well. Okay, so using a clean and dry 1-inch brush, I'm just going to start in the middle, which is the lightest area, and I'm just going to start blending all these colours together. So as I say, starting in the middle, and I'm just doing the same brush strokes as I did before, just side to side, back and forth in a rocking motion, and you can blend this as much or as little as you like. Just remember that as we prepared the top half of this canvas with liquid white, the more that you blend this colour, the lighter it's going to get, and the more it's going to disappear as a result of mixing with that white continuously. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I've just now picked up a fan brush and I've loaded it with just white paint, titanium white. I've loaded it nice and full, and I'm just going to create some cloud highlights just on top of some of my green sections, just to brighten the sky up a little bit in places. I don't want too much of this, I just want to highlight it here and there. Don't forget to use plenty of paint, and you can also reload your brush as necessary. Okay, using another clean and dry 1-inch brush, I'm just going to now finally just blend all this together. Just in the exact same way, I just want to blend the white just into that green a little bit. Okay, so it's now time to pull off the masking tape that I applied before the painting started. As you can see, there's a small amount of white that's of the canvas showing through. That's not a problem because it is going to be covered up shortly. So I'm going to take a 2-inch brush and I've just put a little bit of phthalo green on it. And I'm just going just under my horizon line, just where the tape was, just to cover it with that paint so that it shows up underneath on the next step. The entire bottom half of the canvas before the painting started was also covered with this phthalo green. However, that's in my other video which I mentioned at the start. That's in my playlist called Canvas Preparation if you want to check that video out first. I've now loaded a small roll of paint onto my palette knife. I'm just touching some lines. I'm not dragging or anything, I'm just literally touching and pulling away. Just some distant lines, just pure white lines, and this will be my ocean well in the background. And what you'll notice is, the more I touch the knife onto the canvas, the green colour underneath is going to start showing through. So some of the lines are now going to start turning green as I run out of paint. Okay, so once you've put your lines in, just take a 1-inch brush or even a 2-inch brush, clean and dry, and just lightly go over it, very, very light touch, just to basically smooth the lines out a little bit, and it will also allow a lot of that green to show through, as you can see. I've now loaded some white paint onto my fan brush, both sides. I'm just going to the canvas and just doing some small rocking motions just to create some distant wave effects. Like I say, it is white paint, but due to the green colour underneath, the paint's instantly turning this wonderful phthalo green colour, just automatically. Okay, I've now got a filbert brush and I've put some white paint on it, and I'm just going to decide where the main wave's going to be. This is going to be the crashing wave that's going to be the centre of the painting. So I'm just going to drag the white paint just to create some wavy lines. I'm just going to drag it to the left like you see, a little bit of a squiggly line, reload it, and then create like an arch, like a U shape, and then carry on to the side. And then for the crasher, I'm just going to grab the brush, grab another small amount of paint, and just create a curved line like so. As simple as that. And I'm just going to do a small little sketch roughly where the foam's going to end up splashing up, just so I'm aware of it. Right, let's create some slightly closer waves. So I'm going to start on the right, high up, and I'm just going to come down into some squiggly lines again with the filbert brush, just white paint. I'm going to work my way down to the left. You'll notice that it's a diagonal line. I don't want it even, straight across. I want it higher on the right and lower on the left. You can do it the opposite way around if you want. It just depends what seascape you're wanting to create. And then just underneath that, I'm going to create another one in the exact same way, just like so. And then I think we'll just finish off by doing a third one like so, exactly the same way. Okay, I've wiped my fan brush out now. It's only got a small amount of paint in it, but ideally you want it to be clean and dry. I'm just going to come behind that first line and just do some rocking motions back and forth, a bit like the waves we created in the background. I'm just going to do that all the way across like so. Just that slight rocking motion. You don't want to do these too steep, and this is going to create the waves in the distance. We're going to do all these waves in the exact same way. The most important thing you need to do is, as you can see, I'm saving a small amount of dark area in between the waves. So you can see the line with the fan brush. I'm not going all the way to the edge. I'm just making sure there's a faint black line there. That's going to create the 3D effect of the wave to make it look like it's standing up. And then just work your way across as so. If you need to wipe your fan brush out in the middle of this, that's fine, because you don't want too much paint on. We're just using the paint that's already on the canvas to begin with. Okay, so once we've done that, I've reloaded the fan brush just with white paint. We're going to create the back of the wave where it comes over. So I'm just going to grab it and just pull it round like so in a curved motion. And you don't want to add too much paint on this because you can always add to it after. But make sure each stroke that you do overlaps the other one, the previous one, just so there's no gaps and it looks okay. And I've just added a little bit more paint. I'm just going to go over a couple of them here just to brighten them up a little bit so you can see them better. Okay, I've just put some white paint on the filbert brush. I'm going to start in the middle, which is going to be the eye. Start making a circular motion. I'm not going to pick the brush up, and I'm going to keep doing these circular motions all the way down, like so, just to the bottom of the wave. And what's going to happen is it's going to get darker and darker as it picks up more of that green colour underneath. I'm going to come round, and as I get back to the top of the wave as so, I'm just going to work my way across until the colour naturally runs out. Just like so. Using a clean and dry 1-inch brush, I'm just going to blend in this little eye of the wave. By doing that, I'm just touching lightly with the brush and just doing some small circular motions. Start at the top in the lightest area and work the way down towards the bottom of the wave. Again, using the same brush, just starting at the top of the wave, I'm just going to bring some of that paint down just to show off the shape of the wave. So I'm just coming down in like a small C shape, a curving motion, and that's just going to make the wave stand up a little bit. Okay, so using a filbert brush this time, I'm going to create the shadow of the foam. This is just the shadow part. So I've just loaded up some of the bright red and phthalo green mixture, just to make a really dark green. And I'm just doing some small circles just above the wave, and as we come down, these circles are going to get bigger and bigger, as this is the area where the foam is going to crash down. And basically you can go crazy with the brush here if you like, just do some random shapes just to show off the splish splashy motion of the water. Okay, I've loaded the same brush with some just white paint on both sides. Load it up really well, and I'm just going to touch and just push the top end of the brush upwards, and that way the white paint on the top is just going to come off and it's going to make the lovely white foam on the top of the shadows. The colour on the brush is going to continuously mix with that shadow we've just put in, so theoretically you need to wipe out your brush every so often, quite often, just so your white paint doesn't get too diluted with the green colour. And then just in different sections, just get your brush, you don't need to do any circular motions, just touch and just push up the back end of the brush, just like so. Just touch and push, and that way that'll create the lovely white foam on the top. And in between some of these white foam patterns, I'm just doing a little bit of blending with the 1-inch brush, just to mix in some of the white with the green colour underneath, and just makes the shadow a little bit brighter in places, and it just separates the various white bits of foam and just makes it look more three-dimensional. Okay, now that we've finished the white foam, I'm just taking the filbert brush, I've just wiped it out, and I'm just doing some small circular motions right in between where the white paint meets the shadow, just to blend it together that little bit. I've now loaded a small amount of white paint on the palette knife. I'm just going to push the palette knife in quite firm and just come all the way across, just to create the shoreline where the water is pulling backwards. Reload your knife as and when you need to, but you don't need a big roll on. If you push hard, the white paint will squeegee out to the side as you push the knife and bend the blade that little bit. And then using a fan brush, just take the back end of that colour and just drag it to the side, the same direction, all the way across, and that way it's just going to pull that colour right into the front of the wave. And then as you pull the colour further back, just start going into the wave, just start curving the colour up, just to show that the wave, it's starting to hit the wave and curl over. Okay, this time using the same mixture, but I've added a bit more bright red. I've just loaded some colour on a 1-inch brush, and I'm just touching underneath that wave line, and I'm just pulling down in a straight line all the way across. I'm just going to pull straight down, and this is going to create the brownish sandy colour. Obviously we've only got the two colours to use, the green and the red, so it will appear like a reddish brown. Then once we've done that, just gently pull across in a horizontal motion in a straight line. Don't worry if you mess up your waterline, because we can just easily put that in as I'm going to show you right now. So take your knife, reload your colour, and if you need to put the shoreline back in, that's all you need to do, is the same thing again. A small roll of paint on the knife, and just work your way across, keeping the knife level. Just like so. The paint will squeegee back out, and then pull it once again using the fan brush. Just get the colour and just pull it backwards a little bit. As you can see, I've got the fan brush now, and I'm just tidying that up a bit and just pulling some more colour backwards, just as and where you need to. You don't need to do it everywhere if you don't want to. And as I come back to that wave, I'm going to start curving these lines up that little bit. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is start tidying this seascape up in a few places. So I've just got a liner brush. I've just dipped it in some paint thinner and loaded some white paint on it. This paint's really thin, it's about as thin as ink. And I'm just here and there, just on the waves at the back, I'm just touching up it in places and just adding some white paint just to brighten it up, just make it sparkle. I'm just going to do this to show you, but what you can do as well, you can create some light distant water lines in the waves just by doing some curve motions with the white paint. Don't forget this paint's really thin, so it will come off your brush very easily. And just in places, just follow the wave and just create some curved lines just down in the direction the wave's flowing. And you can put as many or as little of these on as you want. It just depends how much detail you want on. I'm not really a fan of these lines, so I will be getting rid of them. But I am just showing you how to do them, basically, in case you do like them. And if you're not a big fan of them, once you put them on, or as I am, I've just shown you, I'm just going to get my finger, just in that colour, I'm just going to pull the colour back, just like I did with the fan brush, and then that colour, them lines will just blend straight in with the paint and they'll disappear for you. Just as easy as that. I do like to create one line, which is just on the top of the eye of the wave here, and this one's going to be darker just so it shows up. It's just mixture of phthalo green and the red again. And I'm just putting in a couple of the tiny little water lines just to show the direction the wave's flowing, and that looks quite nice, but I'm not really a big fan of the white ones in the background. That's just to show you. And then here and there, if you want to add some of your own, you can do. It's just about basically making the wave look how you want it at this point. Just go back and forth with different brushes, different ideas and different water lines. Like I say, if you don't like them, just do what I'm doing here. Just get your finger, pull back and it'll disappear like so. And there we have one completed seascape using only 3 colours. This painting is available, so if you're interested, just get in contact with me. All details are in the video description. It will also be available as a high quality print in my Etsy store. Again, these details are in the video description. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. See you next time. Thank you.